And you've also done some bodybuilding too. Like what kind of got you into that as well?
Well, so my brain works in very interesting and mysterious ways. So backtrack a little bit. I had just said, I believe my first knee surgery was maybe seventh, eighth grade. Then I still needed something. I didn't really have a sport, so my gymnastics coach Juan, I stayed in touch with him, and I wasn't on the team anymore, but he was still allowing me to come to practice to just do the conditioning and all of that. Then unfortunately, I had another knee surgery, maybe like senior year. So I fell in this depressive state for, I hate to say, more years than I would like to think of. I just felt like something was missing. I didn't know what, because I knew gymnastics was no longer an option. I was very honest with myself from a young age. I knew I wasn't going to go to the Olympics. Like that wasn't a goal of mine. And I feel like that's fine as long as you're very honest. So then I felt kind of lost in high school in the sense of like, okay, like what's next? What am I doing with my life? And I had spiraled down this very depressive state and mental health. And I suppose I didn't realize it at the time until I did, but I started to struggle with a very, very bad eating disorder. So it kind of goes hand in hand with all patterns of my life. So my family being very supportive, they kind of, I hate to say they didn't know what to do, but I feel like in a situation like that, you don't always. So my brain working how it does, I was always intrigued with fitness models. I always loved the look of, they were just so strong yet so beautiful, but they weren't this social norm of being real skinny. And at the time I was 18, and that was like the trends, like being like super skinny, that 2000s look. So I was just like doing so much research on the internet, and my family was just like, listen, like, like we're gonna bring you somewhere to get help. And me being me was like, no, I will fix this myself. I'll figure it out myself. So I researched, I don't know how, I believe someone at the time, I was going to the gym, but I wasn't, hey, how are you? Sorry, someone came into chat.
No worries.
So I was going to the gym, but I did not know anything about anything. I would spend like 2 hours on the treadmill. I didn't understand this world at all. So I had found a bodybuilding nutritionist and trainer, if you will. And my family came with me because they're like, okay, are you sure this is like the right thing? And um, my thing, I still to this day struggle a bit. I don't like help. I like to do it myself. So we met with the coach, and I was so intrigued. I was like reading my list. I was like, okay, like I'm going to be eating like, like on this competition diet, like 1800 calories a day, which sounds like the norm for an average human being. But coming from an eating disorder, this was brand new. And I was like, food? Like what is this? So I fell into it that way. It was definitely a challenge at first, not only mentally, but physically, seeing my body change. I was more than thrilled, but I started to develop shoulders and like big quads. And that is the goal of fitness competitions. It was very empowering at the same time, because each day, the gym was more than just, oh, I'm going to the gym to do arms. I like developed this whole brand new mindset and outlook, which was just so beautiful to me. And at the time it was, I'm going to age myself, but there was maybe just iPods with the music and
Yeah,
stuff. So like
iPods.
it was literally, I started lifting, oh my God, 12, 13 years ago. So like I don't even think I had one. So a lot of times I would just be at the gym, like just working out and listening to whatever the music's playing overhead. And it just was such a refreshing outlook. And still to this day, sometimes I'll go to the gym with like no schedule, kind of just to clear my head. And so I fell into it that way. And it was quite interesting because it really, really helped me. in this sense until it didn't, because I don't know if you know anything about fitness competitions, but
I do not.
most people that get into them develop eating disorders. So it's kind
Hmm.
of like we're playing with fire, dancing around it. So I had actually stepped away from that world maybe about like 5, 6 years ago. I just had the mindset again, hey, I want to be normal. It was a very strict diet. I'm like, hey, I want to eat a cookie if I want to eat a cookie. I want to have a glass of wine if I'm out with my friends. I don't want to do 2 hours of cardio if I don't want to. And I didn't want to feel guilty if I quote unquote messed up my diet.
Right.
So the fitness industry holds such a special place in my heart, but at a certain point, it no longer served me a purpose where it was helpful. I do always toy back with the idea of possibly doing a fitness competition with my new mindset and headspace, because I really just love it. It is just a show in itself, and that definitely translated and helped me with wrestling as well.
Yes.